Hey everyone, this is Ladrón and welcome back to Satisfactory. Last time we started working on these guys over here, adding some refineries, bringing some water in, adding some blenders, so we can get some beautiful fuel out. Last time I think we were basically on this floor, but from the last session to today, got a few more things. We got an extra floor, or maybe more. Actually got the first and the second floor. They're basically the same as right now. Let's go autosave. Thank you. Which means that we have the refineries back there, the blenders going around here, and it all goes out this side. And we have the last piece of crude oil going out there. And we added a few viewing areas. Got some water coming in from there. But most importantly, let's go down and let's take a look at the roof, where things are starting to get a little bit different than before. In here, what we're doing is basically we got all of the fuel coming from the first floor, second floor, the third floor. Just pushing it all here. So each of these pipes has 240, 400 fuel per minute. So there's something that we need to do over here. Those are the two viewing areas that we were talking about before. Let me see if we can go back here without dying. Thank you. Let's get two large billboards. Nope. Gonna be like that. This one is going to be fuel. Like that. And it's just gonna be fuel. And here, I'm gonna be a little bit glossy. And in here, this one. This is 833, 240, 2,400. This also will be glossy. So we got 2,400 fuel per minute on this building. And something else that we did last time. I don't know if we're gonna have. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna do something like this. Grab you, copy, and paste it. Remove you. Here. Oh, I'm not gonna be able to align this, will I? No. Billboards? No, they don't align. Okay. I'm not gonna be able to do the same thing that we did before and go all around this with malnotice or signs. Actually, no, I just got the wrong one. Okay. Oh, let's see if we can get. Yeah, we can get around this without dying. There we go. That sounds good. Here. Nope. Come on. this sorted out. Here we have the fuel that we need for power. Get this. All that up. Now what color are you gonna be? Are you gonna be no image? Just like this. I'm looking for something a little bit more yellowish. Let me grab the fuel color real quick. Go. There. Is gonna be fuel. Actually, we need this to be the background color. Be a little bit darker, it seems. Yep, that can work. This all over the place. Another good, a nice cream around. Go. Have there. Move down a little bit. There we go. We don't paste billboard settings. Oh. Oh, hello. You're in the right. Oh. You're not in the right place. You're not in the right place. There. Moving. Oops. There. Just a few more. 3 more, actually. There we go. So that means that we have 2400 fuel on this building. We wanted to do a little bit more decoration on that side. That blank wall here needs to be changed a little bit. Here I added a ramp. We can go up and into the building, and then this is the first viewing area, and then this one is a little bit larger. And start seeing a little bit peek on what we're doing with that. So we grab all this fuel, and since we have 6 lines here with 400 each, we don't actually need 4 lines with that 6 lines. We can make them into 4, and that's what I did. We loaded balance here, and we send 4 lines for 600 pipes in here, and back there. Got a little bit of a gigantic tower. Oh, 2 gigantic towers. The first one is taking the fuel all the way up there. And then in here is going to be our fuel our battery. This is going to produce the power that we need to enable us to go through nuclear. So in here we have a whole bunch of pipes with pumps. Make sure that they can go, the fuel can go all the way on top here. They come across here, and I tried to make this look like a 9-volt battery with the square plug and the round plug. They ended up being too close, but if I tried to do it further apart, they started going on top of that thingy that gives the rubber corner for the battery itself. So I decided to leave them as is right now. And in here, we have a little bit of space. And, ooh, maybe I went too far. All good. So we added some platforms over here. Oh, actually, get rid of these. And in here, we have a small entrance here on that rounded corner. And we have enough space for on each of these floors for 20 fuel generators. And in here, what I did is I added one hypertube to each of the floors that we're gonna have to build the generators. I only had the generators here on the first floor, so I knew that there was gonna be enough space. And let's go up a little bit real quick. So you can see here, all the floors are empty, and we're gonna stuff them full to the rim with fuel generators. So it's gonna be 20 per floor. And what I did, on each floor, I added a storage container with all the materials for the 20 fuel generators. And in here, the only thing that I did is I bring these 4 lines of fuel, and then I splitted them into 10 lines here. We have 10 lines, and each of these lines has 240 fuel per minute, which is enough fuel to run each floor. So let's go back to the ground floor and be thrown at light speed into the wall. Thank you. And let's start with today's work, which is going on each of these floors and add those 2 generators. So what I did is I left one foundation between them and the outside. I think I aligned them. I still have power over here, so good. Yeah, so they have a little bit of weight before here, but I think the other ones I'm just gonna move one side there. So one few generators. So for each floor it's gonna be 20. Just gonna add them here. We know. All we have to do is get these. Oh no. Have it over here, or you have indoor space for that. Okay, so let's drop a few things like these we don't need. What are looking like though? Okay, still have more space that we need to open here. Computers have a little bit more motors than we need. Quite little. This much. Yep. We need some rubber. Drop these off. Now we're full, and then we have these extras and just these extras on the quick wire. Yep. Actually gonna drop more of these so we have some indoor space. Okie dokie. Now, here's where things are going to start being interesting. So, you have one off from here and one off from there. So the first fuel generator is going to be, it's going to be on power. Fuel generator. Going to find this foundation here. This needs to go that way. What I do is one of these. There's a place I can climb somewhere around here. Here we go. And of course, it's going to be all the way on the back. Oh, come on. Thank you. Now, have here 1 and 2. So here will be on the right on top of it. 1 and 2. Oh, come on. I got this right. Could be enough space for this. Yep. Okay, so those are correct. Now I just need wait a second. 3, 4, 5. Yep. So that's, yeah, just for a second I thought that I just did a wrong calculation. I had a lot more space than I thought. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And here 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, I think it's gonna be easiest to come from this end. Yep, right on top of it. Here. No, sir. There we go. Is that right? Power somewhere around here? Yes, we do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. I think I'm missing something. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Need another one. Like that. And another one. Like that. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice. Now let's connect all of them together. First sides here. Like that. No, sir. Okay. I think you need to connect it first then. Let's get all of this together. You connect to here, you to there, you there, and you here. Okay, so now I have 10 generators. Now we just need to put those back to back. No. Go all the way back here. 1, 2, 3. Two spaces. Here. Two spaces. As well. Yep. And that means that there's only one foundation on the end here. Nice. All good. Get more of those like this. Get clear off here. You can just spam 2, 3, 4, 5. So that doesn't look good. What am I missing here? Can I? And yoink. There we go. You to you. There to here. There to here. You to you. You to you. We should be on the right place, so two. Thing here, and there, from there to here, and the last one, and that is floor 1 full of fuel generators. Nice. Wasn't so hard, wasn't it? So we need 2 rows and a little bit of change. Okay. So to the ground we go. And here, just gonna drop some materials. So we can take some of these off. Oh, I'd like to have those back. These as well. Yep, these should be good enough. So, second floor. Go. Yes. Now, in these 4, I'm not gonna have my hover packs on this corner. So, let's see if we can get this done, shall we? Nope, nope. We need fuel generators and make that 20. Yep, come on. Fuel generators, thank you. Facing the other side. And here. There we go. Now, that's right next to it. 1, 2 spaces. That's 2 spaces as well. Get those connected. And then place it from here. Yes. And then place it over here. Oh, nice. I think that this way might be a little bit quicker. Yep. So we go here, grab one of these. Turn it to this side. And turn it to this side. Grab the junction, place it right in the middle of them. Is that right? Yeah, it seems right. Like you to you, you to you. And go from this side. There's another fuel generator on there. Another one of these. Junction on the center. To the junction so I can walk to it and rinse and repeat. So now we gotta get to that side. On there. On there. The junction. Pipe to here. To you. And pipe to you. There we go. That's 10 generators off the bat. Now, you are like just right there. Here. 1, 2. And that's 2 spaces. Check it from here. Yep. Because it have just one foundation from the edge. So this is right. Come on. Nice. Jump here and jump here. And this side. Fuel generator right there. Another one here. Grab the junction. Place in between there. Closer to it. And what? Good. Please, thank you. Now, go to this side. On that side. Grab the junction. Put together. From the generator to the junction. Now, go to this side. There. Oh, what? This side. Now the junction. Do it. Oh no, 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 no. Wrong. There we go. And autosave. Thank you. There. Go to the left. Get to the right. And that's the last view of this floor. See? No time. 2 floors. Just like that. Well, you haven't connected any wiring, so that's not good. But we'll do that at the end. And why I want to do it at the end? Because we started creating that area over there. And since this building is a 9-volt battery, this is going to be double A battery. So I'm going to pull it to the sky, do a little bit of a smaller connector on top of it. And in there, what I want to do is add some power storages. And what I want to do is connect all of this building, the power for this building, and just ship it or connect it to that power storage. And let's see how long it's going to take to filling that that storage. But first, we do 2 floors, so we have 3. That's 10 floors that we need to do, so there's 7 more. So first things first. Grab you up. Go to our known corner. We're gonna make 20 of 2 generators. One off there, so it starts right over here. Like that. Turn to this side. Here is 1 and 2. Here. This. Yep. Looks good, sounds good. So these 2 and these 2 together. Now, let me go to this side. There. One of these here. The junction there. So, the 2 generator to the junction, please. Like that. Now, let's see. Here, oh, come on. Needs to be right next to each other. No, come on. There. To here. Not that hard, is it? I have to go this way. And come on. That way. Junction. At the center. There we go. 2 generator 2 junction. 2 generator 2 junction. And we need 2 more for this row a few generators like that. And there we go. Generator. No, come on, junction. Oh, there. The right position now. Yes, it is. Oh, you're not the wrong position. There we go. That explains things. Now, one here. Let's wait for the autosave in 3, 2, 1, done. Thank you. 1 and 2. Go. Oh, nice. It's spaced out. What? Now let's see. Generator on that side. This side. There. And this is probably going to be more powered than we... Here. Here. No. We have connection here. This is connected. Sounds good. Looks good. Hopefully this is going to give us enough power to go through all of the nuclear things that we need to do. But more importantly, this is going to be enough power to get us into a place where we can build everything that we need for nuclear. Because as of right now, we are kind of lacking on the side of these industrial beams, for example, because we need those to make the electromagnetic control rods. No, we don't. Actually, we need for this. Yep. Because I don't want to have to automate crystal oscillators and beacons to replace 3 encased industrial beams. You know that doubles everything and get 3 more, so this produces more items, but this involves silica and a whole bunch of other things instead of this just having using coal and iron, which is quite abundant. So the recipe that we're going to be using, and as far as I understand, this is going to be 3rd floor. Let's see. Yep, that's 3rd floor. Let's go to number 4. Same as before, we're going to grab these materials from here. Go all the way to that corner. Could do it from the starting point, but we're gonna bring the fuel from this end, so I want to keep it all nice and aligned. So it's gonna be on this corner over here. Make that 20 fuel generators. Give me 1. There. Here, let's see. 1 and 2. Look at that. There we go. Come on. There we go. Generators. And if I'm not mistaken, I have more than enough power. Hopefully with the batteries. Well, I only set apart materials for 20 batteries, or what's that called? Power storages. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Well, not going to be enough for us to make the battery building as tall as I would like to. But at least will give us a start. Might have to bring some more materials from our main base. But for now, what I want to do is get some power introduced here. There we go. One. One. There's the next one. That's half the amount that we need for this floor. Sort it out. Go. The good thing is, since we are doing this way, we only need to split the line that's coming from the top into two. So it's going to be 120 for each side, because this takes 12 per minute. And we should be golden. Should be in the imperative order there. 1 and 2. One. Behind. Yep. And this seems to be on the right spot. Now it's there. There. Legion. The good thing is that we are actually producing some. We can produce some plastic and rubber in this area here with the resin that's going to be out from our building over there. So hopefully we'll be able to get some more materials over here. Can afford. What? When? Wait. No. Oh. Maybe I didn't leave enough materials for this? No, that's not good. Let's see. What do you have? More? Not enough. That's the 4th floor, right? Know that there are some more materials right on those beams there. Yeah, we have a bit more. Like that. 30, let's split this up. 30, 30, 20. Yep, everything else is right. Bring some of those materials back with us. Yeah, we should be fine. Famous last words. Just some leftover materials. Our inventory, so I can grab everything for the fuel generators. Page 13. floor's done. The second, the third. Now it's you. Where have we landed? Here. Now let's. There we go. Here to there. That side to here. That side to here. No, let's see. Those are going to be the final two here. Tension. And together. One. That. And there's that. That's for the fourth floor done. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 more floors to go. Beside that small hiccup, everything is going kind of smoothly. I like it. Go. Do we have enough materials for 20 of you? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Nope. Let's go back to our known corner. Pursue generator. Here. Like that. And go apart. That's 2 apart as well. There we go. Here. Thought I would be able to add more than one. No. It's easier for me to just connecting like this. And we'll do the next one in sequence. Like that. And that. Grab the junction. Oh, what? No, that's not how we intended it to be. User needs to connect to that one. Thank you very much. Yep. This is all falling, please. There we go. There. Now. Ooh. That snapped right into the plate. Good. Trying to learn. Trying to. Satisfactory. Mm-hmm. Now. One on this side. And the other one there. Now. Means that we can these and half this floor is done. This junction 1, 2. Apart. This is 2 apart. One there. And there. Oops. Can you climb over here? There we go. That side. this side. There. Doors from this side. Done. One here. And one there. There's the junction. This center. There's this connection there. One. There we go. And there we go. There's two more for this row, and we're done with this floor. Come on. Of course, it's gonna fall right in the next. The last one. On autosave. Thank you. Here. The other one there. The junction. And one. There we go. You. And there's another floor. Done. You need 20 for this. Go. That's yoink. That's a fourth floor, right? No, it's 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 more floors to go. Getting those in a really good pace. Pretty happy about that. Now we have materials. Yes, we do. And what I think I'm going to do after the next one is going to be start setting up the dropping down the fuel. Yes. Because with the fuel, what we can do, start using our hover pack to move. So that's something that we're really gonna help us out connecting the power lines. Two. Yep. One. There. Now let's get there. And you over there. Go. Come on. Right there. There. You there. Maybe I should have added the top floor before adding all these floors. Now the pipelines and everything. But we're not here for smart decisions. We're here to make work. To work hard and make mistakes and then fix those mistakes and then fix some more mistakes and get things to work. But maybe this time it's going to be different. Maybe this time it's going to be just connecting the dots and everything is going to be smooth. That's a good thing that nothing here is permanent. We can always change our minds, move things around. Nice placement of the objects. Fix them. There we go. Last piece of this side of the puzzle. Now for you, sir. Maybe something like this. 1, 2. 1, that's 2. Yep. 1. Ooh, almost got it. There we go. There. One there. Connect here to you. To the right. And on the left. There we go. That's two sorted. Four more to go on this floor. There. There. And she only center. Press this out. And we got those last two. Oh. Got those two set up before the autosave, so nice. One. There. And the one is over here. Junction. Those two. Nice. That's those. 4. 7, 4. 6, 4. 9, 8, 7, 6. So this is 5th one. Good thing that once we connect the fuel line, at least I don't think we need to connect any wiring, and just use the fuel generators, power sources, and just slide our way around. Hopefully. We'll see. And I think I'm gonna have to go to the upper floor to be able to connect everything. That might be not ideal. Let's try this junction. Need 20. So I gotta get the materials from there. There we go. As you can see from the check marks on the right, I have enough materials, so the generator. The one. Two spaces. As well. No. And you connect it down. No. Come on. The other side as well. There. Yeah. That side connection is a little bit finicky. Here and there. There. Another fuel generator over here. No. Come on. There. There we go. Now for the other side. And you there. Here. That means that you only have 2 more for this row, right? Right. And come on. There. These 2. And these 2. And everything is alrighty. Now. Same thing that we did from the other side, so from the distance. That's right. You know, because when I click here, the pipe looks just as it's gonna come over here. So it's just a matter of pushing things together, and you have the right placement. And that one out of the way. You there. Nope. Come on, stay on top. Thank you. For you. That. And there. There we go. Is it connected to that other junction? Yes, it is. Get both of you. And come on. There is one fuel generator. And there is the other. Side by side, friends. Everything's fair, separated. There we go. You on that side. And you on that side. And come on, connect those two together with the main line. And Dunsky. Another floor is taken care of. And we go through here. There we go. Like 3 more floors. I think that's the number. Yeah, I have 1, 2, 3 hypertubes going up. So 3 more floors. Feel like the pace that we're going right now? Wink. No, actually we need 2 more. Because the last one is just the one that has the load balancing of the fuel. Okay. 2 more floors to go. And we should be able to start laying down some pipe. First things first. Get materials. Come on. I need 20. Yep. We have enough materials, so that's good. That corner over there. And generator. You need to be over on this corner. This is then you. There. And yoink. There we go. And your brother, there. Now, you have enough, probably enough copper sheet here. We can bring all of these fuel generators connected together. Alright. A little bit further apart, but I'll take it. Goes right. And there. Main line. See, 2 more. 1. Here, there, you to you, you to your friend, and you to you. There we go. everyone is connected together, or on that half at least. Go here. This small space. Yeah. Come on. Okay. So I think you got some power from there, right? Yep. From there. Here. Now. There we go. To the left. And to the right. We have four more. Oh, no, sir. No. That won't do. That mostly not do. Should be right. Yeah, like that. See? That's another one, was it? And one on this side. That side. Two missing. Or two to go. Get you there. Yes, please. Down there. There we go. That's all. The few generators for this floor. And you only have one more floor to go. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Nice. Only problem with these take a little bit of time to get there. Up we go. To the last floor that we're gonna be placing few generators. Hopefully for some time. Hoping that we don't have to keep on writing more fuel generators and burning more fuel in this world. We want to go nuclear. You want to go nuclear. Plenty? Yep, we have all the materials. So let's head back down there. Watch out, one over each. So, need to be over on this corner over here. Like that. You. Like that. And for you, something like that. There we go. This side. One. Now let's get those two together. Like so. Here. There. I'll actually do a little bit more than one. We are so inclined. Can we do that last one? No, doesn't seem like it. No problem, we can do that one as we get closer. No hurries. One. Let's keep it the way it was. One at a time, or one pair at a time, more to the point. No. Here. And one there. And that's first half of this board done. Get that connection going. Yep. That's enough space. Yes, it is. What? Here. And the other one. Look at that. No. Nope. There we go. And there. And here. Here. You need to be on that side. You need to be on this side. Got a junction between those two. There. And about there. Oops. Oh, at least I was able to place the other good generator there. There we go. Managed to get right back in. Now. And last one. No. Okay, so as you can see up there, we have 9 or 10 lines, and our hypertube connections is starting from this side there. What I'm going to do is grab this line, and come over, do something like this. Maybe 1, 2. Yep. Yep, that's straight down. And we already have fuel here. The other ones I'm just gonna do something like, no, wrong placement. It's right between the two of them. Here. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9. Yep. Now I can just do something like this, and that, and this, that, and this, and that. Let's see. They all have fuel. So let's. How do I want to do this? One, two. Do something like this. Yep. And there. 2. The center of it can be anywhere in here. We can actually do something like this. Actually, just gonna push it here. And let's see the magic happening. Just come in here. Oh, things are moving. These are moving. How about you? How are you? Oh, since you don't have any connection, it's not generating power. Okay. I think we can deal with that. We want to connect you. Now, let me connect all the pipes, because then I can just connect them all together. Yeah. No, I don't want to have to do that. Let's start connecting things together, shall we? So the way that I was thinking how we're going to do this, pretty simple. grabbing you. Where are your connection ports? Back here. Maybe. Oh, we don't have a whole bunch of wires dangling around. Yeah. I'll make my life easier. Connect you. And right on top of us. Between this thing and this. Something like that. So here I can connect you. Where is that? Right here. There. Connect you to that one. And here. Come on. Connect you. You. There we go. They're just lining up between these and the top of the chimneys from here. A little bit easier to connect. Use here. So from here, what we're going to do is from you. Here? Yeah. Then I'm gonna have instead of one of these double wall here. And then like there. You can disconnect this one to you. And then all of these we're gonna connect from the outside. Yeah, because this is one off there. Let me connect these other ones here and see how that's going to look like. Ooh, so good to be able to use the hover pack again. Nice. The only problem with the fuel generators are that they are loud. Go, and then over here. Yep. Go to our next intersection. Nope. There's one there. There we go. Now that's 2. Make that 3. The fourth one will be over here. There. See, I connected it to a junction right here. And I got one of these double outlets. And connect you to you. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, what I'm going to be doing is this side. I'm going to use just one. Then connect you. Grab double ones. Right. You. Here. You. You there. So on the outside, I'm gonna connect all the fours from this junction point. Yep. That's good. Sounds good. And just out of curiosity, how much power each four are gonna be producing? Oh, there we go. 700 megawatts? No. Something must be. 4? What's wrong with you? No fuel? So this was 12 fuel per minute. This is a 240 line. What I need to do is, and that's where things might be. Oh, I don't have the rubber for that, but I do have the rubber down there. So I can just split this B120 line for each side. This has more fuel than the other ones. Okay. We're gonna need 2 per 4. We have 9 more 4, so we have 18. Okay. Let's go back to our temporary depot when we have everything stored. Okay. We don't have any rubber in here. But I know that we have plenty of rubber in there, right? Yeah. 872, so that it should be more than enough. Okay, so that's. And the other thing that I want to do, and I'm not sure if we're going to have enough time today, is to build that power storage. But I want to have all of these energy supplies set up properly ranged. No. This is load balanced. This is the top 4. For you. Or maybe by. Will that? Yeah, it doesn't seem to be no fuel for these ones. Let's see if these ones are already getting full. This doesn't have any fuel. Okay. Let's see. Comes here. It seems to have a little bit of fuel, but it's not flowing. Not coming from here either. 6, 7. I think because too much fuel is just balancing things out. Yeah, now we just have all of these with some fuel. I'm gonna add the valves here. No, actually, we need 2 more because we haven't added any here. Here. It's gonna be oh, I did a big mess. No, there's 10 on each side. That's right. It's gonna be 120. And this side, nope, needed level. This is gonna be 1. Mouse, thank you. 20. Okay. Hearing something going on here. Yeah, maybe for now I'm just gonna remove these. And I'm gonna connect all the pipes. And see maybe if... Hey Breath, how are you going? Good evening. I'm starting to have a few problems with the fluids. I've always had some hard times with those, but hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be able to handle all of these by the end of today's session. So, let me hurry up and wait for parts to build. Yeah. Still kind of in on that phase. Right now, I'm just waiting for build. Fuel? So, yeah, not a fun game to play. Here, it needs to be something like 2. Now we need more holes. No. 7, 10, that's it. I always have so hard time with fuel or with liquids. It's not just like you just put things on belts and things just work. Yeah, with liquids you have to use pumps and moving things around. So yeah, fun. Nope. You 1, 2. Now I think we should be able to just something like this. Can you snap to it? No? Was snappy? Okay, let's have something like this. Then something like that. Then we can just connect you here. Actually, what I'm going to do is take this off. I'm going to take that pipe off. So when I need, I'm just going to connect those 2. Yep. Sounds good. Oh, this doesn't look right. Oh, this is not exactly aligned. Oh, that will do the trick. the other side of the line by any chance? No, that's not right as well. Actually needs to be, nope. Right on top of this thing. Okay. This to this, and now. At least now they won't start like that. Yeah. No, actually now it's a lot easier. You just connect right underneath the junction on the top floor. What? Now it's going to be a little bit easier to place these thingies. Get connected. Yeah. Come on, autosave. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't expect this to be such a thing, but it is what it is. Now, here, what we did, connected this here, and we grab one of these. We have the output right there. Now let's do the same for these other, for this left side. And yoink. There. That's you to under the junction there. That's okay. Go to the next connection. But that's just that tiny bit of fuel. It's not going out loud on us. There was a configuration to make the fuel generators a little bit quieter without having to readjust everything else. It'll be a good quality of life. Setup. Here. Get connected. And the last part. You connect you to there, you to here, and you over there. Okay. This floor is almost set up. I think this is the 8th floor. Yep, now 7. Could I have added some lights around here? Maybe I'll do that afterwards. Again, figure out what's going on with our fuel production. Here, there. Here, there. And 2. There we go. Now let's go from here. Get that. And 2 over there. There we go, nice and quiet. Bad. The worst part of doing this from this distance, trying to snap that one pixel connector right up there. But we're managing it. Here, from you there. And the last one is over here. There. Now we do this. And we do, oops, this. Did I add the valve on top? No, I don't think I did. Nope, I don't see any valves there. Okay. Now let's bring you down. One. 1, 2. There we go. From here, all the way to the corner pieces. Right there. There we go. There. No, can I? Thank you. One of these here, one of these here. We can get rid of you. Now, this connection to the front there. And a little bit offset, but that's not a problem. You. Thank you. There we go. You bring over there. And you're the last one. And these get connected. That board is connected to over here. And that way we hide. No, 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 no. Come on, come on. Can you go up, please, please? There we go. Way back. Like that one. Yeah, that one. See? Not that hard. No. Seventh floor. Sixth floor. Huh? Now the sun is rising. Gonna get a little bit more lighting here. Always good. No. Start with you. That's here. And then one of these. There. No. All good. There's the connection. There. Thank you. And now it's you. Go. Okay. There as well. It really annoys me when it clicks. Then you don't move your mouse and then it's not just there anymore. But Like it is. And then one. There we go. These units, this is what they're called fuel generators. And what is supposedly coming into these pipes here is fuel. And then those fuel generators, yeah, they got fuel in here and they output 150 megawatts of power. Yep, no problem. So the idea here is to it converts basically oil into power for you. There is a caveat to that, basically it could be plastic or rubber. And then these pipes over here is supposed to be fuel. And fuel, this one, can be crafted in several ways. The standard way, you get crude oil, and then it turns into fuel and a little bit of polymer resin. The recipe that we are using is this one that gets heavy oil residue with water and produce 10 fuel instead of the 4 here. And the heavy residue, we are using this one. So get 3 crude oil and turn into 4 heavy oil residue into polymer resin. Let me connect all of these together and I can show you a little bit more on that, how this is happening. So it goes here, and here, and there, and here, there. We're going to have one of these things here. Now let me just connect all of these things together, like that. And then the next one is over here. Come on. One, this one. Go. You. Another one of those there. And come on. Let me connect. This is going to be connected to there. Then there. And then I'll get that into there. Okay, so power is connected to here. This is the 7th floor, right? Nope. 6th floor. Okay. So let's go from the beginning. Here we have crude oil in this black pipes. They're coming in here. And then in here we have these refineries that gets 30 per minute and convert into 40 heavy oil residue per minute and a little bit of polymer resin. Then the output of that is on this purple pipes gets added with a little bit of water into these blenders, and that generates 100 fuel per minute for each blender. Then I have 10 refineries here and 8 blenders per floor to produce 800 fuel per floor with a total of 2,400 fuel per minute from 4 oil nodes, 2 pures and 2 normal nodes. These, each of them is 600, so times 3. So we get 800 crude oil and transform that into 2,400 fuel. And well, I'm gonna need to debug those afterwards. First, I want to connect all of these. So we were on this 7th, 6th floor. I think we were on the 6th floor, right? Have those up there. So it means that this 6th floor is all linked up together. 5th floor, up we go. And hopefully, so crude oil into heavy oil residue into fuel, fuel into the fuel generators. And that means power. Hopefully enough to get us to the end game, or not to the end game, but to be able to go into nuclear without having too much concerns about fuel or power. They have 10 floors and have 20 fuel generators in each of the floors. So that's 200 fuel generators just for those 4 nodes. So the idea is that each of these generators gets 150 power. And then that's going to be times 200. And the idea is that I'm going to be able to get 30 gigawatts of power. Fingers crossed. Hey, Damiano 3322. Hello there. Have you been playing Satisfactory for a while as well? Or you're getting started, or as Brett here, oh, I'm just a noob and have like almost 300 hours into it. See? You have 182, like, so almost 200 hours, so that's quite a lot already. And how you're feeling for your base? I know, again, this, I'm actually taking my time and making all this organized. Got to the end in 2 worlds. Oh, nice. That's really, really good. I've done a few times already, but none like the way that we're doing right now. I'm trying to maximize everything and use all the resources, or at least go full head on nuclear. My 3rd with mods now, and it's so much easier. Yeah, mods are amazing. But one of the things I'm really happy is that they added zooping, because if I were to build this building that I built here with just 1-by-1 placement, this will take me forever. Yeah, zoops are amazing. And about the power storage, no, I haven't. No, I was focusing on getting these set up, so I haven't started on our power storage. But one thing I did about the power storage is... let me go there real quick. I've done one. Yeah, this floor is a little bit big. I set that up as being the base of our... I'm gonna do this as a double A battery that I'm gonna build upwards. And in that bin over there, I said I put enough materials for 20 storage containers, 20 power storages, but I have a slight suspicion that that might not be enough. What I was hoping is by the end of this session, be able to connect all of these fuel generators, have enough power to basically fill up those 20 power storages. But the way this, of course, with liquids, it's always something. I might not be able to get all of the things that I wanted to do on this session, but hopefully. Nope. Nope, no. There we go. Did it? Like that? Yeah. Yes, you. No, come on. So hopefully they're going to be able to just connect everything and things will magically work. But with fuels, with liquids, more to the point, to me it's always like, oh, you arrange this here and then you fix this there, and then it always takes a little bit more time than usual. But hopefully we'll have enough time today and enough power, enough fuel, enough all of that to get everything set up. So heading for the 4th floor. And here we go. Oh. There. Oh, it's so much easier when you can over. I'm kind of making this harder than it needs to be, because I could just run some lines and get some power going here. I can just hover all over the place, but I want to see how long will it take to using these fuel generators. How long will it take to charge up those batteries there? Those 20 power storage that we're going to be building. So cross our fingers and hope that's not going to take too long. Well, even if it's going to take too long, with the amount of power that we're going to be producing here, that shouldn't be a trouble at all. Go here. Oops. What? Up we go. New. 1, 2. One. There we go. Here, here. 4 more floors to go. Go. The good thing is that at least right now, these already have fuel, so hopefully things are going to make a lot easier. Because everything will be connected, but First, need to get things moving and grooving. And come on. Put it over here. Get there. A little bit more. You. Come on. One thing that got really impressed is how fast we could add those 200. Well, he only had to do 180 generators. I said 180 generators as it was just like, no, one or two. 180 generators, come on. It's a lot of generators. Now we have these 4 done. That's a 4th floor. Now, 3rd floor. And there we go. Let's wait for the autosave. No. Thank you. No. You're connecting you to over there. Then you have a double outlet there. At the corner. Sounds good. Let's get show the road. You. Like 2. That one. And no, next. There we go. Next connection. And need one more pair on this side. Oops, that part. And then one. Go. That's you. Now I'm gonna be on this side, so make it much easier. You, sir. 1, 2. And then no! Working on concrete? Really? Okay. Let me finish up power connection on the other side. And then just bring the concrete up here. Let's make our life easier, shall we? Oh, where did I connect to you? There we go. What? Can you stand on top of the pipe? Thank you. There. You to you. You put it there, sir. There. So the next one's over here. The thing that, since I'm lacking concrete, probably not going to be able to. And now we are running on out of iron rods. Okay. Okay. Iron rods and concrete. I think I have some things over here. None that we need. Iron rods and concrete. Don't tell me that I don't have those there. I don't want to have to go all the way to our base. Iron rods, concrete. Yes, we do have. Nice. Glad that I brought some more materials here. And let's see. grab it all. Yeah, that should be enough. I don't know what I wanted to do with the crude oil pipes. They're just right around there. We're on the 4th floor, right? 1, 2, 3, and yoink. Or was the 4th floor complete? Yeah, we have that line there. We have that line there. So 4th floor is good. Now we go to the 3rd one. That's where we're lacking on the materials. We should have plenty of concrete rods. Yeah. Just have that connection over there. Good, sounds good. Well, good if we had everything, but if we had some mods to add more inventory slots, that could be good as well, but no, we want to do this the vanilla way. So you to you to that one, and autosave. You to you to you. Now you come all the way to over there. From there to over there, and from there to there. Okay, now let's connect the missing pipes for the lower floors. Yeah, I think we actually need one of these. Yep. So, first things first, we're gonna have one of these. Then we'll place another one so we can snap. And we need one more of these. 3 more floors to go. We have the second, the first, and the ground one. Looks good, sounds good. Even though the ground one is not exactly on the ground, but semantics. So, second floor. Let's do this. You connect it to over there. You want to connect you to over to that one. Get the double one over there. I don't think it's on the right oops. The right spot. And that's where it would be. Right between the two. Now actually let me just like this. And over there. From here to over there. And why I did that? Because that way you can just come over here. We're connecting from this side, and then when we connect to the other side, you just get into the hypertube and go to the next floor. A little bit of time save, not too much, but as we're doing things over and over again, it's repeating the cycles. If we can save a little bit of time in each interaction, good to have. Those are the last two. Here we're gonna have something like this. Here. The same here. Here to there. Right. We should have this from this side, no problem. From you. 1, 2. that guarantees that the floor or that this pipe is straight down. A few more floors to go. Oh, now you're snapping to something else. No problem. You can add in one before, and you should snap right next. You should go. Okay, now. Come on. Two. Okay. Okay, you one. Like you there. And here's the last one. And this is all connected. That means that we can just go down to the first floor. And there. For the autosave, and boom. Go. Put one of these over there. Yep. Hey, good night, Brad. Glad you enjoyed it, even though it's a little bit of, well, that's satisfactory for you, right? A lot of repetition, a lot of work done. Hopefully you'll be able to get things running, and good luck on your waiting and getting your items being produced. Hopefully you're not gonna have to wait too long to get everything that you need to get to the next stage. Night, mate. That we quick. Oh, we still have power here. Nice. Go there. Bauxite. Do you have the alternate recipes for that? So you don't have to deal with a whole bunch of silica. Really, like, well, the base one actually is good to keep the silica, because then you have some more silica out of the bauxite. But I think the one that basically makes or breaks that portion is alumina solution. You have basically these two. This one produces, the standard one produces silica, and this one does not. So that's a little bit of a downer. But the scrap one, you have this one that outputs water. Yeah, there's not much to do with this. This is usually good to have some like pure something that you can use that water for. And this one is the one that I will, once I go towards the silicone one, this is the one that I'm going to be using. It's just, instead of using the foundry, it's going to be on the smelter. And it uses less scrap and produces less ingots, but doesn't have to use silica. Hard drives are incorporating. What I would do is to go something like satisfactorycalculator.com. You should be able to see all the locations for the nodes. So it's pretty good resource. And that actually, if you upload your save file, it's gonna show only the hard drives that you haven't collected. So you don't need to be concerned like, oh, have I I've seen this on the map, but have I collected that one? So this is really good to save a lot of time. So you can only go for the hard drives that you haven't collected, so that's what I used to get. Like, I only have 20 hard drives to get. So it's pretty good to be able to say, hey, oh, this hasn't, I haven't collected this hard drive, but I collected that one. We don't have to go exploring and climbing and doing all sort of parkours just to get there and say, hey, I've already collected that one. So yeah, this is a really time saver. I'm still gonna have to do another big exploration session, but I think as of right now I have most of the important alternate recipes, but we'll see. Go. Huh. It's always good to be able to know what you're doing instead of just hoping that everything connects together, like I'm doing right now. I just hope that everything is right. Oh, I was on the first floor, right? Yep. Now I just have the ground floor to put together. Yeah. That's part of the challenge of the game, but doesn't mean that you need to suffer. You might have some ways around it, but that was good. Night, breath, we're going. Nope. Here on that. Go. Same here. And let's get the connections done. Like that. And that. And that's out there. Now let's see. Can I get there? You and those connected together. You know that a lot of these power lines are not exactly connected or placed exactly in the center, but for this area that I shouldn't be coming too often, hopefully this is just gonna work and I'm not gonna have to deal with a lot of back and forth. That's good enough. That's all those. Nope. Here. Same. There. Now, you coming from here. 1, 2. We should be straight. No, I don't think that's right. Come on. There we go. Let's get a few more of these guys connected. And we should be close to the end of this. Trying to hit the needle there. There we go. Getting that target practice done. And now delete you two. And what? Should be the last one. Okay, we got all of those connected. Let's see. Can I go from here? I'm just gonna play these here. Hey, and the Connie, how are you doing? Have you been playing Satisfactory for a bit as well? Oh, no. Tell me that I have enough power to go all this. They do. They do. Keep working on my little power factory here, or power plant, or what I call the Duracell factory, because hopefully this is going to look like as it should. And I think that's the last one. Yeah. Okay, now we should have everything nice and connected. Let me take a look over here once it saves. Thank you. How are you? You don't have a lot of fuel. You are full. Oh, I'm from Brazil. I'm kind of neighbor. And thanks for following me. I actually... How can I say that in Spanish? I can't... don't know how to say that in Spanish, but I was born like a couple hundred miles or kind of number kilometers away from Argentina. What's going on here? You don't have one, so you're on the corner here. That consumed from not a lot. Yeah, I think I know what I need to do. And actually already have that set up here. So, in here, what we need to do is logistics. I don't have motors and I don't have plastic. Okay. Need more of these. Do I have enough materials? And we are a little bit higher. I want to be. Just give me a. Coach. Translate English to Spanish. Piano. So we're I was almost neighbor, but I was born there and I left pretty early. But let's hopefully take the roof here and add those pumps. That should be enough. We actually need to get rid of these. How much material we have? Okay. 52 here. I'm just gonna do something like this. Actually, south of Brazil. You. Wouldn't I drew up? So I was born in Rio Grande do Sul. That's the furthest state to the south. I was raised in the state north of it. That's where I live. Like, I was born in Rio Grande do Sul. I lived until I was 4 there, and then from 4 onwards, I lived back in Santa Catarina. Here, we need to have all of these. Oops, I want autosave. He's gonna be that way. This and that, and this, and the last. My family's from Brasilia. Oh, I have an uncle that's living in there. Really? Okay, so let's take a look here. And the reason why I call this my Duracell factory, make it through translator. This was because of this. Theoretically, those are the two positive and negative connectors of a battery. You know, they should be a little bit farther apart, but at least for now, they give enough the idea of what should be there. Hopefully this is going to give us enough power to run all this factory. So, let's go to the ground floor. Well, we could just open a gap and then go directly to the 9th floor. But let's use this. And yeah, this translator, it's so good to be able to understand things. I wish there was... I know that Google is working on the live translator. Actively, I have around 300 hours, but in total, 640. Around 300. What? Okay, let's see. If my calculations are correct, now that is full of fuel again. Okay. Let me connect this and see how these are gonna go. My concern is that this is not gonna split correctly. Not going over 4. me going down. What's you? You're not working. I'm having a lot of fuel here. Okay, not good. Oops. There is some fuel coming in here, but not enough. Go over here. Oh, no. Like that. Let's take a quick look here. You're empty again. Why are you empty again? Oh, I think because of those issues with the pumps, right? Going through floors. Noodle. Hang on. Room here so I can see what's going on. There's one of these. Grab one of those. Grab you. Move up there. Let's see, are you gonna get some fuel? No. Why the heck not then? No. Take a look here. You do have fuel. You have fuel. Tiny bit. You are kind of full. You are not. Why the heck is that? These. Take a whole one. And here. Should be more than enough to get you to up there. But we're getting fuel? No, we are not. So, what? What the heck's going on here? And that's the reason why I hate liquids. Didn't have enough fuel as well. It should be somewhere around here. You have a tiny bit of fuel. You have none fuel. You have fuel. Why? You just add what you had before. Okay. So let's be over here. If I flush this segment pipe, are we gonna get any fuel in here? Nope. Oh, because I think these ones are pushing backwards. Okay. Maybe I need some valves over here. Should I add valves or should I add pumps? Because that pump basically pushing all the way here. This is the thing that I don't understand. I think here I'm gonna add some valves. No, maybe not. Valve here. Now you're getting boom. Moving things around. They're going down. Why are you going down? Okay. This should be around 600 per minute actually. This is really weird. Oh. See? I have no fuel over here. What? Why? This one has no fuel here. Do you have fuel over here? No. Stopped as well. See what's going on over here. You have fuel. You're empty. You